Social life is governed by consciousness and cooperation. That is why Durkheim gives the term collective consciousness. What has to focus of analysis? There can be functional and dysfunctional aspects of society. What is functional, which is accepted by the society? What is deviant in the society can be dysfunction of the society. Okay, conflict theory is another macro level study, and where society accommodates between competing interest groups. They are unstable. There is a society unstable and proves to change. That is why conflict has arisen, and social life can be conflict-led. But what is the focus of analysis for a conflict theorist? How social inequalities produce conflict. There is a social inequality between caste, class, ethnic groups. How does it do? Conflict theory is dealing with all these things. And what are the benefits for social arrangement? If I want to make a proper arrangement in the society, if I negotiate properly, then I have the benefit. Interactionist. Interactionists are in micro level understanding. As conflict theorists and structural theorists see it in a macro way, it's used in a micro way that looks upon the symbolic meanings of actions through languages, through thoughts, and how people make a sense of the world. Why is this ritual being done? Why is this concentrated as sacred? And this is what is being done. Okay. So I'll take you through certain things which will make you more clearer since we are going for an exam. I make a statement. A theory is a statement of how and why facts are related. John moves to New York from Kansas and has gone on 5 dates. But none of the women liked him. Why? What is the meaning of the sentence? If I could have interacted with you, that would have been very good. This is my statement. But if I want to study as structural functionalist, how will I study it? It will say there are approaches at looking at the larger part of the work together to promote solidarity and stability. As a functionalist, I will always see that all the parts work together which promote solidarity and stability in the society. So, how will structural functionalists analyze it? It will be analyzed by John is having a hard time. He is not going on dates with women who are most similar to him. Dating and marriage works in society because people allow to people with common interest to work towards common goal. He is from Kansas and the girls are from New York. It is not a good fit. That is how this case is being analyzed by structural functionalist. Okay. Now, if I want to understand it by a social conflict approach, what I'll say? I'll say society is a place of conflict, group of people are in conflict, and the society is constantly changing. That way, there is social conflict approach will say. And then my statement which I have given in the first slide will also change. John is having a hard time because he is trying to date in the upper class women of New York, and upper class women looks down on the middle class and the lower class because there is a class conflict. This is how A conflict theorist will look upon it. If I look upon a gender conflict approach, now there are a lot of studies on gender and looking on conflict, inequality between men and women, then my things will differ. Patriarchy will come. I am degrading the women. I am disrespecting, not treating them with respect and desire. All these things will come. If I come into a race conflict approach, it will come as it is racial, it is an ethnic group. So the person may not be European, he cannot date an American woman. That happens. But if I come to a micro level of a symbolic interactionist approach, the society is a product of everyday action of an individual. During the date, John is not very smooth. He possesses verbal zest and flattered and impresses girls. So in an interactionist perspective, I can have it. Okay, so these interactionist perspective, we analyze, we take various imperative sociology to analyze it. We use other approaches in research orientation also to do it. So the orientation focuses on the meaning, how people place their action. Is the researcher a participant? Whether he is gone to the field, whether it has been properly interpreted. Then we say that the research orientation is interpretative in nature. Or if I am not an interpretative sociologist, I can be a critical sociologist, where I see social change. And then I will analyze the same situation in a different manner. Similarly, when I come to a method, when I have a theory, when I have a method, what do? I take up the theory, I conduct a research, I see to it that the research is conducted in a proper way. And just to give you an idea in the first lecture that later on we can talk about research. But just to give you an idea that what actually we want to talk about is, we talk about situations, that how finally the research will be conducted. So we experiment things. We look for cause and effect relationships. We look for surveys. We look for statements which can be a part of questionnaire. They can form questions. Or many a times sociologists opt for participant observers. Very important concept again for a sociologist to adopt participant observation. Actively involving people and existing sources from the data collection, from secondary sources of data. You can also have some research methods to come forward. So this is all about your understanding of the first chapter which you have, which I could give you little. When I share the slides with Sulochana, I have given the source. I have also given you the references. Many times when we write an examination, many books also are being asked. So I have given you with the years here, which book was written in which year. So you can just go through my slides and you can find out that which book, just going through the books that what is there in sociology, so that you are writing, when you are writing an examination, you are clear about what sociology is all about. Okay? Thank Thank you. So, what I feel is I can continue still with the next chapter, but it is on Sulochana. Should I continue again with a new chapter, or I can stop here for today as you suggest? Because I don't want to miss up. I can continue? Okay. Okay. I will go to and talk about some basic concepts of sociology today. Okay, which I have seen is in your syllabus. Okay, one second. Just let me see. Okay, what I have done is, I have not followed the chapters of your syllabus, but I have taken a few concepts which you will find in different parts of it. Okay. If I miss upon anything in the syllabus, Sulochana, I will be happy to speak about it. But as per my lecture which I have prepared, I like to speak 15 minutes for it. So, let me give you an idea of the basic concepts of sociology. I think it will help you if you go for the exam. So how does a sociologist define society? It is defined as humanly created organization or system which has interrelationships which connect individuals in common culture. All are product of human interactions. With human interactions only, a society is formed. And when there is ability to exert power, determine constraints, often we experience in society apart from individual and interactions. So this is how society is being defined. McIver and Page, Haralambous, all these people have talked about society as a definition. This term also you will come across when you read sociology text from UPSC. That is social structure. What is a social structure? Structure is, as you know very well, the house has a structure, the factory has a structure, the society also has a structure. But what type of structure does a society has? It has a pattern within culture, organization, through which social action takes place. Means when we come into the society, we do a lot of social actions. We interact with people. Traditionally we interact, by value system we interact, because we have a goal we interact, because of the affection we interact. All these ways, through arrangements we interact with the society. And there are various arrangement of rules also. There are organizations, there are institutions, there are cultural symbols, there are stability over a period of time, which are unnoticed, changing and invisible in nature. But still it is a structure. Structure both enables constraints what is possible in structural life. There can be constraints, there can be things which enable the social life. If a building were a society, the foundation, supporting columns, the beams would be the structure, both constraints and enables the various kinds of arrangements in spaces and groups. There can be rules, there can be organizations, there can be institutions. There can be resources, material and human. Social action takes place because patterned and institutionalized in nature. That has to be patterned, that can be institutionalized, incorporates both culture and resources of social organization. That is, there is a culture, there are resources of socialization. There are things in the socialization process. Social structure is a organized set of social relationship which members of the society or group are variously implied in pattern behavior and the relationship. What is the pattern behavior? The pattern behavior is the rule set, the status sequence in the social structure. It is a pattern behavior. Turner has spoken about it. It is Merton has spoken about it. I have given you the name of the books also. This diagram, students. See the proposed scheme of a primary social element. You have the scope of individual agency. You have a determinacy of social structure. But in between you have culture with the individual. You have institutions with the social structure. And you have the network, you have the market, you have the organization, you have the population, you have the ecology. Everything is operating in this sociological element. Okay. So now what is culture? How do you define culture? Culture is a way of thinking, acting and material objective that together form the way of life. When I think, when I act, that material object together form the people's way of life. It's a set of traditions, rules, shapes, feelings, thoughts, behaviors, and which is in nature, biology, culture, habits, artifacts, beliefs, which is passed from generation to generation, is culture.